Let me say up front, public relations is not war, but if you've been in the game of PR as long as I have, you realize something uncomfortable. PR sure as hell does behave as war sometimes. Information moves fast, perception decides outcomes, and most battles are won or lost before anyone even realizes a battle is being fought. That is why, oddly enough, one of the most useful books I have ever read on public relations is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Here are the PR lessons I took from it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is PR 101. Over 2,500 years ago, during a period of time where states were constantly conflicting in ancient China, a military strategist named Sun Tzu wrote The Art of War. The book comprised a bunch of different chapters, and each of them dealt with different elements of war, be it finance, be it military hardware, be it leadership skills. The book was treated as a handbook, even a bedside read of obviously nearly every single Chinese emperor since the 5th century BC. But even if we go into the modern era, it included many avid readers, including the Chinese Communist Revolutionary leader, Chairman Mao Zedong. It included Vietnamese General Robin Giap. And it also included American generals such as Douglas MacArthur and Norman Schwarzkopf. Closer to my own home, it's even a standard issue at the great Pakistani military, Navy, and Air Force academies given to every single gentleman cadet that becomes an officer in my country. Lesson 1. From Sun Tzu's Art of War comes the wisdom. The supreme art of war is to win without fighting. In PR terms, that is everything. If you're constantly firefighting, if you're constantly issuing statements, if you're constantly denying stories, or if you're constantly changing narratives, you are already late. The best PR work is invisible. It is the issue that never actually even becomes a headline. It's the crisis that never escalates, and it's the controversy that dissolves quietly because the groundwork has been done early. Reputation cannot and should not be defended in the moment of attack. It is defended long before an attack even takes place. If you are proud of how many crises you've handled, you may be missing the point. The real win is when nothing actually happens and reputation is built every year consistently, quietly through credible CSR programs, purposeful partnerships, and well-timed announcements. It's even built through sustained leadership visibility that earns trust long before it is even tested. Lesson 2, know yourself and know your enemy. Now, I'm sure you're wondering who the enemy in PR is. Well, in PR, the enemy is not the media. The enemy is not social media. The enemy is not public opinion. The real enemy is misunderstanding. If you do not understand your own organization, if you don't understand your own weaknesses, if you don't understand your own contradictions and your own pressure points, the public will find those out for you. And if you cannot clearly explain your raison d'être, your reason of being, and instead hide behind these over-engineered branding that drives me personally mad, statements designed to sound profound, you only create confusion about what your business actually does and why it even matters. If you do not understand your audience, their fears, their expectations, and their values, your messaging will most likely land flat or worse, backfire. Strategy begins with brutal honesty. PR most often fails not because of bad messaging, but because of complete and tiring self-delusion. Hello PR 101 fans. My wife and I, we explore the world sharing stories that impact us. Follow our adventures on Instagram at Isa Chandna SNY Fly Adventurous Duo, where we document our best moments together. Join us on our next journey. See you there. Lesson number 3, position decides outcome before action. Sun Tzu believed that battles are shaped by advantage long before they even begin. Factors like who controls the ground, who understands the environment, who arrives prepared usually determine the outcome of a battle long before the first move in battle is even made. In PR, positioning is reputation. If you've already established credibility, and if you've already established clarity, and if you've already established trust, criticism has little room to land. If you have not, even small issues can escalate quickly. Strong positioning reduces the need for explanation. Weak positioning enforces constant explanation. The work done early determines how much effort is needed to be put in much later. Lesson 4. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. Not every article deserves a response, not every critic deserves engagement, and not every social media storm is actually even real. One of the most hardest skills in PR is knowing when to do absolutely nothing. But Sun Tzu warned that choosing the wrong battle drains strength and it drains attention from things that actually matter. Energy spent reacting is energy taken away from building long-term advantage. Silence actually is not even weakness when it is deliberate. It allows you to observe patterns, allows you to understand intent, allows you to decide whether issues even have a real impact or they're simply just noise looking for attention. The truth is, many controversies collapse when they are not fed. Sometimes the smartest move is to let the enemy exhaust itself. The fifth lesson from Sun Tzu's Art of War is that yes, speed is the essence of war, but preparation decides speed. In public relations, speed is often mistaken for urgency. The instinct is to act fast, react before someone else reacts, to respond immediately, to say something before the silence, God forbid, is misinterpreted. Sun Tzu warned against this impulse long before the first press release was even ever written. In The Art of War, he reminds us that speed wins battles only after the conditions for speed have already been created. Victory comes from preparation that allows movement. In PR, preparation is about designing systems that make things go right consistently. When an unexpected issue emerges, well-prepared organizations, they do not scramble. They do not argue internally about tone. They do not debate fundamentals in the middle of a bloody crisis. What they do is that they move with control because they are not starting from zero. Agreed principles guide what you can say and what you do not say, but these principles are often drafted way before the crisis even hits. Final thought, PR 101 fans. Sun Tzu understood that outcomes are quite often shaped long before pressure even arrives. He did not believe in constant fighting. Well, in PR, the same rule applies. Reputation is built in the quiet work that organizations do. It's built in the messages that are quite often repeated. It's built in the leaders that are constantly put forward. And it's built in the causes that organizations commit to all along the way. When that foundation exists, very little else needs to be defended, and very little needs to be explained. Sun Tzu wrote that the best generals win long before a battle is even fought. Well, in PR, the same principles apply to PR directors. That, ladies and gentlemen, is my final thought, and that is PR 101. If you like this, imagine what I do in the world of PR. Stay close, you'll learn how to play the game and beat it.